Good morning, friends. This is GV Shivakumar, and first I like to thanks for supporting my videos and giving likes and sharing my videos to your friends. Thanks for that. And today, as a part of the discussion, I like to discuss about SAP WM in discrete manufacturing, or so-called Fastener Industries, where they are mainly handling net, screw and bolts manufacturing, right? So it's a kind of metal industry, Sundaram fasteners or any kind of fasteners industries, right? Say in Indian scenario, we have very familiar thing. Actually, we have a lot of things. Sundaram fasteners, Tata is doing that, and then actually Kirloskar is doing that for their motor sections and everything, right? So fastener industry comes under normally a mechanical hardware industry, where the main steel parts or any bolts or net is used to fasten two metal objects tightly and coherently. So fasteners can range from small nuts and screws to high bolts. Okay, so in fastener industry, it is possible to have I can say accountability of one screw. So they can consider even the small piece of screw is considered as one I can say very important, right? These small nuts and screws don't have any identity separately until unless they are packed in a group of 50 or 100 bolts or nets, and in any specific customer specific packing requirement. So normally actually in any industry, say whether it is a power plant or any manufacturing plant or mill industry, bolt and net and screws are very important. It's a even low cost material, but without that you cannot fasten the too heavy object, right? So primarily these screws and nets are kept in a warehouse in a packet, the so-called different stock keeping units. So there is no standard pack size for the material. So normally the screws and bolts or nut, right, actually they will vary in size based on the requirement. Say in case of a boiler or I can say heavy machineries, big bolts are there. And say for example small machines, we need small nut and screws is required. Okay, and say for example actually in case of turbine and everything, actually we need a very high-end finished I can say maintained temperature maintained screws are required. So fastener industry is very important for that. Okay, and there is no standard. That's what I'm saying. Actually, the nuts, bolts, and screws, right? Actually, there is no standard size. Actually, it will vary in size based on the customer industries and customer requirement wherever they are placing. So the fastener industry is ready to do manufacture the bolts or nets and screws based on the requirement or orders. There is no standard pack size for the material, right? It totally depends on the dimension of screws and size of the boxes. That's what I told. So it may vary in any size. Well, as already said, we can say for the fastener industry in warehouse, right? We cannot keep the material in pieces like other industries. Actually, even in pharma we are keeping in pieces, right? But in fastener industry we cannot maintain the unit of measure in pieces. We have to pack the material in the boxes, and in SAP these boxes are mapped to the handling units, so-called HUs. So in fastener industry, the last operation will always be packing, where the screws are grouped and boxes are packed in different sizes. So one single net or bolt cannot have a value, and so instead of that, it is having the group of when you group that bolts or net in a I can say in a box, right, that will be considered as a valuable thing. But a single nut or bolt or screw cannot have a value, right? So that is very important. And the second thing, say the requirement is coming from the customer. So based on that, the fastener industry has to prepare all these things. So normally saying actually how to track the materials or everything is through handling unit. You cannot track with a single nut, bolt or screw, right? So you need to track with the handling unit. And if all the screws, say 50, some 50 screws or 100 screws can be packed. Say even Amazon, actually, if you are ordering for nut and bolt, it will come with 10 pieces or 20 pieces or 50 pieces or 100 pieces. Like that only it will come, right? So it is assigned with one handling unit. For example, I am telling. So for better understanding, I am telling. So that's what in fastener industry, as a lot of operations will always be packing, where the screws are grouped and boxes are packed in a different sizes. After packing these boxes, right, it will come to it will come at the warehouse from production area or vendor through through the delivery, right, through items. Now the goods receipt has to be done for one box, right, instead of 100 screws. Okay, so you cannot do goods receipt for 100 screws actually, because all the 100 screws can be grouped together in a box. So you need to do goods receipt for the box. Okay, that is important. So these 100 screws have shared their identity with the box, and now box is the object. I can say the box is an object which is going to take their identity. So not even, not a single screw. Screws, as I already told, actually it is grouped together and placed packed in a box. So that box will undergo a goods receipt. Okay, and so which is going to take the identity as one handling unit. So we need to consider as a box, and box can be assigned to a handling unit. That handling unit will be subjected to subject to an identity of 100 screws and can be tracked in a handling unit in SAP WM. Okay, please bear in mind, we cannot track with a single screw or a group, right? Instead of that, all these boxes can be assigned to an HU, and a HU can be used for the tracking of material movement, where it is whether it is a GR location or it is or in a transit or it is in a picking location. So all these things can be tracked by using a handling unit in WM. Now one by one these handling units will be put away to the bins according to the warehouse put away strategy, and sometimes these handling units are packed in some standard requirement of packing, and sometimes they are packed in customer specific requirement of packing. So that is what in fastener industry, based on the fastener industry, they are grouped together and assigned to an HU, or based on the customer order or customer requirements, they are grouped together in the boxes and assigned to an HU. So we need to track using the either through standard requirement of packing, and otherwise actually we have the option of packing in customer specific requirement of packing. So fastener industry is totally work on a make to order scenario. That is important. Actually it is the operation the production strategy or planning is a make to order scenario, where the requirement from all the sales areas are combined, and against the production is done. Against the I can say against the sales areas, whatever the customer orders from the different regions, based on that the total manufacturing of bolts or nuts or screws happens. Okay, so now once the production happens and raw material is converted into finished goods, means in the screws, they are assigned to their specific sales area in the sales order. So that is for tracking of customer orders. Okay. In this fastener industry, we never follow make to stock strategy, because we never know that manufactured screws or nuts are going to sell to any customers or not. So wait for the customer's sales orders. So if they are giving dimension of the screws to be made and pack sizes in which after the production, they need to pack and deliver it to the end customer. So that is what I was saying. Actually, in case of chemicals or case of pharma industry or case of even in pharma industry, sometimes actually the production is based on the make to order, because actually we cannot produce excess drugs and everything, because if not sold in a particular time, actually it will cross the shelf life expiration date, and it will best before date, everything will get expired, and then one fine day we cannot sell the stock, right? Actually it is having definite shelf life expiration date, because it is related to a life saving drugs are there, normal drugs are there. So actually we cannot do make to stock like a cement industry or a brick industry. You can manufacture and store in your warehouse, and when an order is coming, you will supply we will pick the material from the warehouse and supply to your customer. But here nuts and bolt are not like that. You cannot, if you do excess bolt or nut or something, then actually if not sold in a particular time or a particular period of time, actually the stock will reside in the warehouse, and your warehouse stock level, or I can say residual stock level in the warehouse will get increased. That will hit your business returns on investment and revenues, right? Actually definitely it will be a dead stock, right? Over the period of time, if it is residing without usage, then actually the material will go, actually I can say actually either it will go as a rest, or if you are maintaining in a proper way, the maintenance cost of the warehouse as well as the maintenance cost of the material, finished goods stored, right? That will cost lot of money, right? To safeguard that the metal conditions and everything. So they won't, in fastener industry or any metal industry, they won't go for make to stock. They will go for make to order. Based on the customer orders only they can able to manufacture the stock. That is important. Okay. So so we need to wait for the customer order. That is understood. And then now actually suppose one customer has to order of about customer order has about say 1 lakh pieces of double pin and rack and pinion pin, and requirement of packing is so 50 pieces. Then in that case 2000 handling units will be executed. Actually 1 lakh divided by 50 will give 2000 handling units will be created. These 2000 handling units are very difficult to manage, right? So again these 2000 handling units are clubbed together in a group of 50 again. So now rearrangement happen. So I can say so now at least 40 handling units are created. Okay. So if you divide 2000 divided by 50 again, we are grouping 50, 2000 handling units grouped to 50, then 2000 divided by 50, 40 handling units are to be recreated. So these are many people will ask actually what is a nested. This is a nested actually. First you did out of 1 lakh pieces you are of nuts, actually you are packing 50 pieces, and so with 1 lakh divided by 50 it will come 2000 handling units. Again actually you are not able to do 2000 handling units in nature. So in that case actually you need to rearrange and do the repacking into the HUs, new HUs, so called nested HUs. Okay, the 2000 handling units will be packed, it is converted to 50 I said, right, for rearrangement. So 2000 divided by 50 it will come 40 handling units in total. So this is called a nesting. Okay, these are 40 nested handling units, each having 50 boxes, and each box is having 50 pieces, right? So this is the concept of nested handling unit in case of in warehouse actually. So this is particularly the nested handling units normally will be used in the case of logistic industry, fastener industries like that. Now these 40 nested HUs are put away into the warehouse bins, and any location is assigned to the HU suggested by the system. So because actually the handling of nested handling units is very difficult. Based on my experience, right, handling, actually if a TO is confirmed, and if the user did a wrong confirmation and actually they want to reverse that TO cancellation, TO confirmation, then it is a big problem. Actually we have to follow a certain procedures in SAP WM to cancel the transfer orders, right? First you need to move that to the temporary location, and there actually you can remove that HU items or nested HUs from the delivery. First we need to remove that nested HU from the main HU, and then actually we need to remove, say if in case actually they will need to create a new HUs and everything based on the repacking decisions taken by the top management. Again you need to remove the HU from the delivery. So all these things forms a complex process in SAP WM. Okay. So the handling normally in WM HU will be a complex process. Okay. So without HU you can do cancellation or confirmation is very much easier, but when you are handling using handling unit, then it will be a very complex systems. Okay. Normally actually I can say HU is a very complicated thing. With the WM HU location is really highly actually it is difficult. So some expertise is required. So now this 40 nested HUs are put away into the warehouse bins, and any location is assigned to the HU suggested by the system. And remember, please remember, these handling units are assigned to the particular sales area in the sales header. Okay, in the sales area of the sales order. Once requested sales order delivery date comes, comes system check. I can say once the requested sales order delivery date comes, system check in the assignment between the handling unit and the sales order. Now system will pick the 40 nested HUs instead of 1 lakh pieces and create the transfer order for the same. Okay. So it won't go for, it will consider for the 40 nested HU only, not the pieces, individual pieces. So it is, if you are tracking with the pieces, it is very complicated. So users will get confused, and so that is what they are doing. They are doing so. Okay, 50 HUs are there, and each HU, I can say, 40 nested handling units are there. Each nested handling unit will have 50 boxes, and each 50 boxes will have 50 pieces inside that. Okay, that's the calculation. So if you multiply that, then you will get a 1 lakh screws. Okay. So now the system will pick the 40 nested HUs, right, instead of 1000 pieces already told, and creates a transfer order for the same. It is not, I can say, always necessary that we pack always in the exact requirement of the packing specification in which a customer demands, right? Suppose in above scenario, the customer has ordered 50 pieces requirement of a packing, or we have kept into the warehouse in a 50 pieces requirement of packing, right? Then while delivering, if customer asks us to change the requirement of packing and now pack them 40 pieces in the boxes already told, say repacking as happens, then in the case, if you already confirm the TO, you need to do a reversal, everything. Say they want 40 pieces in the box. In that case, we have to unpack each handling unit and put out 10 pieces. You need to remove 10 pieces from the HU and again repack it again. This unpacking and packing process is called the repacking of HU. That is the important thing you need to consider in SAP WM. So this is very complex. Okay. Creation of handling units makes warehouse person's life easy and make movement of material, right? So you can easily track that. These handling units can be created at any point of time at the warehouse, right? So at what point means as soon as the goods receipt happens at the warehouse against a purchase order, that is incoming material from the vendor, and then as soon as the finished goods are received after the production. So from the production process, right, you need to place in the finished goods warehouse. At that time also the repacking happens. So as mentioned, the packing as there is it's a lost operation. So after the material is received in pieces, then at any point of time we pack the pieces and create handling units, repack. So we keep fourth option will be if we keep the stock into the storage bins in pieces, but while delivering based on the customer orders, it first, right, we pack them customer specific requirement of packaging, then deliver the item. So we need to rearrange it. or repack that. So put away of handling units is very critical because there would be heterogeneous dimension of boxes which will be stacked, right? So the boxes will be heterogeneous in nature. So randomly assigning the bin to the respective handling units can reduce the space utilization of warehouse. So we can think on in mind we should divide the bin locations according to the exact dimension, box dimension, and decide that maximum number of boxes can a bin location can keep, right? So based on that we need to have a calculation on that. Actually, see, each bin setup and bin type, storage unit type, and HUs, everything we have a certain calculation based on the warehouse exact dimension of the storage and everything, right? Warehouse area, everything. So calculation matters on that. So we cannot say one warehouse nature will not be the same, and even one material type warehouse, right? Actually, say for example, perishable material warehouse is different, the metal industry warehouse is different, I can say consumer goods is different, fast moving consumer goods is different, so healthcare is different. So warehouse can differ in size, differ in nature, differ in operation, differ in functionality, depends on the material they are handling and business they are doing in the business, I mean the end customer, and actually so not end customer, the manufacturing vendor's location, right? So based on that the warehouse can be set up. So in coming videos I will definitely share how the warehouse is designed, what are the dimensions required. So I will share with all you people. Thanks for watching my videos. This is GB Shivakumar signing. Good morning friends. This is GB Shivakumar, and first I like to thanks for supporting my videos and giving likes and sharing my videos to your friends. Thanks for that. And today, as a part of the discussion,